Welcome to Young Money with Tracy Bissett, the advice show for young millionaires in the making. It's time for some $1 Million Straight Talk with Tracy, President and Chief Financial Fitness Trainer at Bissett Financial Fitness. Each week, Tracy's going to tell you what you need to know now at the beginning of your earning curve. Basic and advanced financial concepts made clear, healthy money habits and the missteps to avoid, and all the stuff that you can do to set yourself up for a future of fantastic financial freedom. Ready to lace up and start this week's financial fitness training? Let's do it, Tracy.
Welcome to the Young Money Podcast. I'm really delighted we have a very special guest today, Sophia Yen. Welcome to the show, Sophia.
Thank you so much for having me.
So Sophia is the CEO and co-founder of Pandia Health Birth Control Delivery. Dr. Yen graduated from MIT, UCSF Medical School, and UC Berkeley's MPH program. With 20 plus years in medicine, she is a clinical associate professor at Stanford Medical School and on the executive committee of the American Academy of Pediatrics section on adolescent health. Her passion is women's reproductive health, and she co-founded 3 nonprofit projects to improve the lives of women. So welcome again, Sophia.
Thank you again for having me.
And so you and I came to get connected with each other. I've been an activator with CEO in Canada for the past, now I've just reactivated it 5 years. So missed the first round and we're running strong at 6 years in Canada. And I know that you were one of the funded ventures in the US from the last round of funding. So congratulations. And it's so great that our paths should meet.
Thank you so much for supporting women-founded, women-led companies doing good in this world.
Well, it's fantastic. Now, I've read your bio. I'd love it if you can share in your own words what a day in your life looks like and a little bit around how your business came to be and exactly what it does.
So I'm currently CEO and co-founder of Pandia Health. And as I like to say, I live, breathe, and prescribe birth control. And I talk birth control a lot. And so each day is different depending, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have our team meetings. Before COVID, we would do one in person on Monday, but Wednesday and Friday is on Google Meet. And so therefore virtual. And then before those meetings, I often we have a 1-hour meeting with PR once a week. I do some PR like we're doing today. And then I will sometimes see patients. Luckily, I was the original physician for the original patients. I have written 2,000 birth control prescriptions in the past 2 years. And the beauty of that is I've seen the side effects and therefore are better able to tailor our protocol so that we can decrease the amount of side effects any woman gets when they get birth control, so we can better suit her with her birth control. So that's some of my time. And then pitching investors. We're currently in the middle of a raise, and hopefully by the time this airs, we will be done. And meeting with investors, telling them about our company, where we're going, what we're doing, and then working with the team on the various aspects, marketing and outreach and partnerships.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like you're very busy, and congratulations on this new raise that you've entered into. And we're recording this a little bit before it airs. Hopefully at that time, then you'll be able to look back and know how well that went. So that's fantastic. Now, if I'm a woman who's listening, or I have women in my lives, how exactly am I going to work with you and your company? What does that look like?
Yeah, so Pandia Health, we founded it because I was giving a talk to a bunch of physicians. Why don't those pesky women take their birth control? And one of the top reasons that arose was because women didn't have it in their hand. They didn't have time to run to the pharmacy, to worry about getting to the pharmacy every single month for 20 to 40 years of their lives. And I actually coined the term, quote, pill anxiety. And you can envision a pack of pills with 4 weeks of pills. And as you get to that last week, if you don't get to the pharmacy, there will be a dire consequence. And so Pandia Health is here to solve pill anxiety. Set it and forget it. Let Pandia Health worry so you don't have to. So if you have a prescription, just tell us what pharmacy it's at. We move it to our partner pharmacy. You give us the front and the back of your insurance card, and then we build insurance. You tell us what address you want it sent to. We mail it by USPS. So I like to say, nor rain, nor sleet, nor snow is going to block your birth control. Thank you, USPS. And then we ship some goodies in there. We partner with female founded, female led companies or very pro women companies, and we throw in a free sample of soap, a free sample of candy, a free sample of tea, whatever our partner happens to be. Then, if you don't have a prescription, we can ship to all 50 states. If you don't have a prescription, we currently can prescribe to California, Florida, Texas, Arizona, and Wyoming. And we're expanding to all 50 states as we get more funding and more interest. And if you don't have a prescription, then you just come to our website, pay $20 once a year for expert care by expert physicians. And then our physician, you fill out 20 questions, the same questions I'd ask if you came to my office. And then our physician takes a look at it. If it looks good, we write the prescription, send it to our partner pharmacy, bill your insurance, ship it to your door. And if you don't have insurance, then it's roughly $15 a pack, 50 cents a day, less than 2 or 3 coffees a month to cover your birth control.
Excellent. Well, I think that gives us a great explanation of the business model and how it works. Now, I'd like you to think about your background. And one of the things we like to showcase on Young Money is different paths of success and things that have made people successful. So you've had an extreme amount of success to date, and I know you're nowhere near being finished. So when you think back, have there been any key success factors or traits that you possess or skills that you have that you think have led to this success?
I think as a adolescent medicine specialist who specializes in teenagers and young adults, my number one tip is confidence. I tell parents of teenagers and young people that you want to tell I'm particularly interested in women's empowerment and young girls' empowerment. You want to tell that young person that she's gorgeous and that she's smart and that she can accomplish everything she works hard towards. So it's the growth mindset that, if you work hard enough, it will come to you. Certainly there are a ton of biases in this world and so many people that will, have either overt or subliminal biases against you. But going in there, knowing that you have the support of your parents, of your family, of your community, and for me, the SheEO community and other women's organizations that I've been blessed to get help from as well, such as Springboard Enterprise, Women's Startup Lab, and Stanford's StartX program, which is not women, but they have a ton of diversity and it's just a really great group. Having all of these people support is just absolutely huge. So 1, knowing you can do it, you just got to work hard. And 2, getting the support you need. And 3, my big thing is never be afraid to ask. I like to say the stupid question is the one that isn't asked. And never assume that you know everything. There's always someone smarter. Don't reinvent the wheel. Ask for help. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. If you don't ask, you don't get. That's my mom's phrase. I love that.
And that's a great one. So, you've touched on some really great points. So I love it around the confidence, working hard, particularly how you talked about that growth mindset. It's so key, as well as finding the right people to support you. We've talked about it on the show, but who is in your network and who can assist when you need some help is so important. And that third huge point you mentioned around not being afraid to ask for help, especially when it comes to financial matters. We talk about it really often that nobody knows everything. Things continually evolve. And so it's so important to make sure that you're asking for what you need, because if not, people don't know. I've found, especially during the years as an entrepreneur, that when you do ask, there's lots of people who want to help you. There's a very supportive community for entrepreneurs out there.
Love it.
Now, when you think about your life, has there been a financial challenge or something you'd known a little bit earlier in your life, either on the personal finance side or even on the business finance side?
I would say that I've been blessed to have a firm grounding in finances. My parents had me train with their accountant in 4th grade. I did their household expenses. And so I knew their credit cards, I knew their mortgage. I even inadvertently paid off their mortgage because I was like, why are you paying interest when you have enough money to pay it off? But I didn't understand about tax deductions. And so that was wonderful. The other thing was in high school, even though I've always been a pre-med, they had a thing called junior achievement. And I love junior achievement. You literally open your own company, sell shares of stock, and then pay back people. And I'm proud that, I went through 3 or 4 different companies throughout high school because it was one a year. My final company, we paid back 900% for every dollar that was invested. We paid back 9.
Oh, I love that. And you don't know this about me, but I too was a part of Junior Achievement, and I went through, I think, 3 different companies, and we sold some silly products in my time, but it really trained me for sales. It trained me to understand the way that business actually works. And so I can't say enough good stuff about Junior Achievement. So I love how you shared that, and that it is so clear in your recollection, that 900% return. That's fantastic.
It's definitely something that, being a startup, being in the, the VC funded world, I want to return as much as possible to my investors. But being the only doctor founded company, doctor led actually company in this birth control delivery space, I tell my customers and my investors that I will absolutely make money for my investors, but we will always tell our customers what's best for their health, even if it doesn't benefit our bottom line, because we want to gain women's trust. We are building the brand that women trust with their health. And we will make money because I know how to make money, thanks to Junior Achievement, thanks to accounting, thanks to math. But we don't have to do it by selling shoddy products or products that people don't need or pushing something that's not good for people's health.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I love how your parents really put that training onto you, and that you really ran with it. That's fantastic, because that's so often there, especially in Canada, our school system does not do a good job of preparing young people for financial realities. So that's wonderful that your parents did that.
The United States doesn't do it either.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. And so we have a lot of people listening who may be entrepreneurs. Some are thinking about maybe starting a side hustle on the side of school, or as they have a full-time job. And so because you've been so successful to date, I'd love it if you can share a few success tips around entrepreneurship with our Young Money listeners.
I think the hard one that you will hear is that you have to be in it 100%. If you're going to go for VC funding, if you're not in it 100% and you have half a foot in one door, half a foot in the other, then they won't take you seriously. And as a physician, I was given a sort of pass. I was working, 2 half days a week. So that's just like 1 full day at Stanford to maintain my clinical associate professorship, to maintain that credibility, to maintain that academic prowess and knowledge that would help with the company and the connections. But if you weren't a physician, they probably wouldn't tolerate that. So if you're going to go after VC funding, then you have to be in it 100%. Another way to explain it would be, there's 7 days to a week. And if I'm spending 1 day a week at Stanford, then if you move that to Saturday or Sunday, I think I'm allowed 1 day a week. And then the other 6 days, 24/7, I'm doing Pandia Health, and to do something you enjoy, because you will be doing this 24/7 for 3 to 10 years. You think, I'm going to exit in 2 to 5 years, but you may be, the 10-year route is more, likely. And so make sure you love what you do, because it's so stressful. I thought that residency was the worst part of my life. And then I thought breastfeeding was the worst part of my life. Startup is the most stressful part of my life. If you look at my hairline, so many gray hairs that were never there before.
Do you commingle your personal or business expenses? Do you run your business from your bank account, or defer to your bookkeeper or accountant for financial matters? If you do one or all of these things, the live Biz Money Mistakes Masterclass, Top 3 Mistakes to Avoid and How to Take Control of Your Business, is for you. This live training has been specifically designed for entrepreneurs with sales in the 6 to 7 figure range who who want to proactively change the way they are handling their money matters and navigate the current environment with success. So if you are an entrepreneur with sales at these levels and want to make informed, powerful money decisions, you do not want to miss this important class. Head over to the show notes, check out the link. It's bizmoneymistakes.com so you can register today. Stop waiting for things to change. Take back control of your business and join me for the live Biz Money Mistakes Masterclass.
Excellent. And even before you started the business, what kinds of things did you put in place or research did you do so that you could launch with as much success as possible?
Exactly. So I think, a smart way to go at it is a lot of people will work for another company, a big company, see what their processes are, learn how they do things, see what you like, see what you don't like. Starbucks has a great employee manual. And so then you take what you like from there and you bring it to your new company. And so for this company, we surveyed 100 women aged 25 to 35, and we said who were on the pill patch ring and said, what are your barriers to getting birth control, to confirm our assumptions? And one of them was, didn't have the medication in my hand, prescription expired, pharmacy has inconvenient hours. And we're like, check, check, check. We got that covered. Then we said, if we were to offer a free delivery service, we bill it to your insurance, the medication, and it comes in with some goodies, would you be interested? And I think very rarely have you had an 85% say, yes, I would try it, or sign me up now. And that's what we had for this product. So we were very excited, and we knew that there was a need, and we knew that there was an interest. The key is really, I think, going forward for telemedicine and pharmacy, because there's been sketchy pharmacies in the past, and there have been some recently weird pharmacy things as well, is trust. And we feel is the only women-founded, women-led, the only doctor-led company in birth control delivery that we hopefully can gain women's trust.
Excellent. And I love what you shared about working in a larger company to see what you enjoy, what works well for them, what you want to bring to your own. And then, everything you've just mentioned in the last couple of minutes has been purely around the customer focus. And I don't think you can ever go wrong when you're focusing on what does my customer need? How can I best serve them? How can I help them? And that will make any business a success, no matter the industry that people are in. Now, I'm sure you've had some missteps, because that's part of life. And I would love it if our young money listeners could hear either ones you've observed or ones that have happened to you so they can avoid them as they go forward.
I think one of the key things is to maybe take some preventative measures, like people don't like to hear about prenup. People don't like to hear about founders agreement. And so a lot of people will start with the founders agreement so that you agree who brought what into the relationship. And if it breaks up, how you're going to divide it. We didn't do that. And I was lucky when we lost one of our co-founders, and was lucky that she was a professional, and we parted on amicable grounds. But it could have gone a lot more ugly. It wasn't ugly in any way whatsoever. Thank goodness she was professional and we were professional. And, we just realized that it would be better that we didn't work together. So that is something I would strongly suggest for any founder, is to do a founder's agreement so that you lay things out, that if things do go sour, how would you split it and what would be fair? Things that have gone wrong. I think that, you hear this, but it's hard to do. Fire fast, hire slow. And it's hard to let someone go, because if you let them go, then you have to do it all. But once they're gone, sometimes there's a huge sense of relief, and then you're able to find the new person, the next person that can do it better. And I think for me, I just am hoping that the person will turn it around. I'm hoping that things will get better. And I'm wondering how much time to give someone. But in startup life, every day is a month, every month is a year, and every year is a decade. So you cannot sit on somebody for 3 months waiting for improvement. You need to see change week to week or month to month at the very least. And so they say hire slowly and fire fast, and make sure you have cliffs before you vest anyone, because once they have stocks in your company, that is a relationship forever.
And it's so important, just like not everyone may want to be an entrepreneur. Not every employee is cut out to work in a startup. It comes with additional complexities, probably additional stresses, and you're figuring a lot of stuff out for the first time. It's okay if things don't work out. You just need to, as you said, move on and get to the next person you can help. I love what you shared around the founders agreement. I would often call it a shareholders agreement, potentially partnership agreement. And I've been noticing through the pandemic that some of the clients that I've been working with on the financial coaching side, issues are coming up between founders. Financial strain can usually cause that kind of situation. And so it is so key to, when you are in a great place, when you both care very much about each other, you've got aligned values and you're starting off, that is the best time to document what should happen if our views change, if our values should move and we no longer want to do this together. So that's wonderful for you that everything parted nicely and there was no hard feelings and no drawn out lawsuits or anything like that. So I love that tip that you shared to make sure everybody's prepared. Thanks for sharing such a personal example. Now, when you think about financial matters, whether it's personal, whether it's your business, who inspires you? And it could be somebody that we all know, or it could be somebody very personal in your life.
Yeah, the three women that immediately come to mind, because it's so exciting to see women rise in startups and to see women succeed. Obviously, Sarah Blakely of Spanx, Katrina Lake of Stitch Fix, and closer to my heart, Kate Golden of Hinted. I love Hinted because I do the morbid obesity clinic at Stanford, and it's a great product whose goal is to help people enjoy the liquids they drink but with no calories in them. And she's always posting such inspiring posts on Facebook and Twitter. So just positive, customer focused, B2C, women that are succeeding. And then, the old school Oprah and Martha Stewart in terms of building an industry, right? Not just where you started, but being bigger. And that is the idea with Pandia Health. We are starting with birth control, but we're growing with women as they grow. And so we want to be your friend from age 14 through your entire life. We call it your uterine life. We want to be there for you. And so eventually we will do prenatal, postnatal. We'll refer you to fertility. My friends are all pushing for menopause and wrinkle cream. So we have plans to be bigger.
Excellent. I love that. And a couple of names are new to me, so I'm going to check them out. So for everybody who's listening, go and check out all of those inspirations that Sophia just shared with us. We can always learn new things from other people. It always helps us check our assumptions, and we usually can see things from a different perspective. Now, before I let you go, what are you working on now? And where can the listeners go to learn more about you and more about Pandia Health?
Yeah, so for Pandia Health, as I mentioned, we're working to expand to all 50 states. So if you know any good physicians in those 50 states that are well-versed in birth control and have good values and care about patients, and we generally like academic people, send them my way. The other thing we're working on is thought leadership. So instead of birth control, we want people to think of it as hormonal treatment. So estrogen, progesterone pill instead of OCP. These are just lingo in the medical field. We call it OCP, oral contraceptive pill, but we really should just call it estrogen, progesterone pill, which then takes out the contraceptive, takes out the stigma from it, because 70% of people that use oral contraceptive pills are using it for non-contraceptive uses as well, such as acne, heavy periods, endometriosis, painful periods. The number one cause of missed school and work in a woman under the age of 25, her periods. The number one cause of anemia in a menstruating woman, menstruation. So we're trying to start a revolution, or at the very least, just an awareness. Hashtag periods optional. So if you can go to pandiahealth.com/periods optional is all the information of the benefits of having fewer periods. And at the bottom is my TEDx talk on the science and safety of doing so. And so this process can be started at the age of 14 with hormonal treatments, with birth control pill, patch, ring. Also could be the IUD or the implant or the shot, depending whichever you want. And I ask anybody who has a daughter, is your daughter going to do better on the SAT or GMAT or MCAT or GRE on her period or off her period?
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Sophia, for joining us today. I know that I am taking away so many great tips. Loved how you shared stories from your youth. I always find that part really fascinating, and we have so much in common there. And your parents are just rock stars getting you working with their accountant. You talked a lot about the VC funding, which is venture capital funding. And so success tips being be 100% in your business. Make sure you're loving what you do. Good tips for how to go about it by learning from others and keeping that customer focus. Really appreciate the potential missteps that people might make. So around the hiring and around the agreement with your partners and those financial inspirations that you shared. And it's so clear from the way you've talked about everything that you are extremely passionate about building out this new industry and doing everything that you can to support women from a health standpoint. And I love how clear you were around it's health first, profit second, but make no mistake, profit is one of the goals. So I think that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. And definitely, please tell anybody in the United States about Pandia Health. And we also have YouTube videos on the birth control pill patch ring. We do a Facebook Live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific in Espanol and 5:30 in English. So if you have any birth control questions, feel free to hit us up there, and Instagram and TikTok as well.
Excellent. And we'll put all of those social media handles in the show notes so people can find you very easily and start engaging with you and Pandia. So there you have it, listeners. Sophia Yen, CEO and co-founder of Pandia Health. As I mentioned, she and I encountered each other through SheetEO, and Pandia Health was one of the U.S. SheetEO funded ventures in the last round. Until next time, take good care and stay financially fit.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. To all you millionaires in the making out there, if you love this podcast, please subscribe on iTunes to keep your financial fitness training going. Oh, and leave us a review. And be sure to visit Visit, 2 S's, 2 T's, financialfitness.com to take your free financial fitness assessment. Find out how financially fit you really are. See you next week, young millionaires to be.